and legal counsel to determine the impact of the options for the retirement reforms. Guam Retirement Fund Director Paula Blas stresses that the fund submitted the report in order to comply with the law and does not take any position on any of the reforms. Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz finds this to be baffling, as the fund was reportedly the one who approached the legislature 3 to 4 years ago.
It said the D.C. plan was going to be to the detriment of all the D.C. employees, and they were the ones that wrote the legislation for the hybrid plan and gave it to a senator to introduce in the last legislature. Why they're now saying they're not taking a position, escapes me, because they're the ones that were pushing it.
The analysis of the ERIP looked at 600 active employees, providing two options, one where a person can retire with 22 or 27 years of service without penalty, and the second, which would allow a person to buy 3 years to give them the full 25 or 30 years of service needed for retirement. These options are only if contributions from employee and employer are paid in full. The last time an incentive program was administered was in 2000. 900 employees took advantage of the incentive. The costs to the government and the employees, according to Blas, were extremely high, since employees had to enter into a promissory agreement for a term of up to 15 years, basically receiving the benefit without paying for it. The report also analyzed the issuance of a pension bond and how it would decrease the unfunded liability of the retirement fund, looking at 3 different bond amounts, 200, 300, and 500 million, each affecting the contribution rate, the employer's share to the fund.
Proceeds from the pension bond would be an infusion of assets or cash into the fund, which means the unfunded would go down, the contribution rate would also go down, and the security ratio of the fund, which means the total liabilities minus the assets we have, would actually put the fund in a better position in terms of security.
The report lastly looked at other retirement reforms, one being the increase of benefits in the DB plan to determine what their annuity amount would be, based on the 3 highest salaries throughout their career, being increased from 3 years to 5 years, which would decrease the contribution rate by 0.69% or $3.2 million. To read the report, log on to KOAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jolene Toves.